Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more. Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more. Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to our Genius Hub webinars. We are very excited today to be here. And we welcome everyone joining us. Tell us where you are joining us from. What social media platform are you joining us from? And tell us what town, what city, and what country you are joining us from. My name is Obehi Okweawele, and I welcome us to today's webinar section. And we have a very wonderful topic for today: entrepreneurial mindset, a tool for regular migration pathway. And to be with us, the guest we have today is someone who is very versatile in this field. And as I read out his profile, when I read out his profile, you will see the caliber of the man that is joining us. If you are just joining us, you're welcome to Genius Hub webinar series. And today we said we're going to be having a very exciting time. Genius Hub, like we have heard, is a human capital development organization. I welcome our host, Isimeme Whyte. Chief Innovation Officer of Genius Hub. I welcome her today to today's webinar series from the hub of Genius Hub. Webinar is a program funded by Genius Hub to raise awareness and to talk to our MSME communities and all our beneficiaries and all who follow us, and is a platform where we educate and bring information sections to our people. So I welcome Isimeme Whyte as she begins even now.
But honestly, very, very excited. Grateful to God for another opportunity to see this beautiful day. With industry leaders, especially like the one we have in the house today. My own leader, master facilitator, a comrade that is extremely passionate about knowledge, Mr. Osita or Comrade Osita, Professor Osita, Dr. Osita, anyhow you want to describe him, is one man who is extremely passionate about human capital development, not just because it's what he does for a living, but because he's extremely passionate about this space. We are grateful to have Professor Osita in our midst. Yeah, Mr. Osita, Comrade Osita, thank you so much for honoring us. It is nice having you this very special day. At all of us at Genius Hub, we're saying thank you for honoring us on a special day like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Osita, for joining us on a special day like this. You are one man who is extremely passionate about human capital development, and you're a master facilitator, SIYB master trainer. That is a global certification for global facilitators. Thank you so much for honoring us. At this point, we would like to see your fine face. Yes, my CEO will quickly read out your profile. It is good for our audience to know who will be speaking to them today.
So our guest today, Mr. Osita, is an experienced human rights and advocate activist, and an ILO certified master trainer in entrepreneurship development with over 14 years experience in active advocacy and campaigning against human trafficking and migrant smuggling in and across the West Africa region. Active member of NATA, CSO NetMade, and other coalitions of NGOs actively involved in the crusade against the threat of human trafficking and other crimes against the vulnerable and less privileged members of the society. For his work experience is a very long one, his education, his skills. Right now, he's the Patriotic Citizen Initiatives PCI Lagos, Nigeria founder and president. Then some of his skills are hands-on experience in maintaining knowledge of available resources, extensive knowledge of legal and panel systems, ability to maintain policies on all developmental issues, familiarity with various social justice and anti-racist movements, extensive experience in finance, marketing, sales, and public relations, passions for leading and mentoring others. And he has various certifications from ethics and conduct at IOM UN Migration 2020, preparing and responding to active shooter initiatives, United Nations Department of Safety and Security, United Nations Department of Safety and Security, ILO SIYB Master Trainer, Certification of Competency, Fellow Institute of Management Consultants. So this is the caliber of the man we are bringing before you today. So we welcome you, sir, as you take the floor. Can you say something, sir, so we know we are with you and we have not lost you?
Can you turn on your camera, sir? Hello, Comrade Osita.
Can you hear me?
Okay, while we're waiting for Comrade Osita to come on board, I'm sure he's having a network issue. While we're waiting for him, the topic today is a very powerful topic. CEO, can you just re-emphasize the topic? Entrepreneurial mindset, a tool for regular migration pathway. So when we say regular migration pathway, so what is why are we having this conversation today, CEO? What do you think? Why do you think this is important to have at this point?
Okay. So this conversation is very important to all of us, especially to us here at Genius Hub, because of the kind of work that we do and because of the new trends that we are experiencing, not just in our country, but around the world, the Japa syndrome, where people are wanting to move. And from time immemorial, migration has always been your legal right. But here at Genius Hub, we advocate that if you must migrate, then you must migrate aright. Safe migration is what we advocate for. And we know that people must always move. But before you move, what must you do? Get the right information. Get your papers. Get information about the country of destination and what you are doing. We advocate for safe migration. So that's why this topic is very important for us today. And the first part of it deals with entrepreneurial mindset. Once you are migrating, what is it that is on your plate that you're going to be, that you're going to be displaying when you get to your country of destination? Are you just going to get there and fold your hands? What are the skills that you have? What is it that can integrate you into your new system, that you will not go there and become a liability, that you can function properly. And so this topic is talking about having, first and foremost, the right mindset.
And I like the way you emphasize the right mindset. In everything you do, you must have the right mindset. And we're always very happy. Part of what we do at Junior Sub as our foundational class is to take you through life skills. And life skills are skills that help you navigate through life. There are skills to help you make an informed decision. There are skills to give you clarity of purpose. And all of these skills are mindset skills. The kind of mindset you should have in every way you find or you go. And today we have Comrade Osita, who will be taking us through on entrepreneurial mindset as a tool for regular migration. I don't know if Mr. Osita is on board now, so that we can quickly have him take the floor.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me very clear?
Osita, are you with us? Can we see your face? I know network have been terrible lately. Yes. If we can see your face, Ali, we can use your body language to know if you are hearing with us or not.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, maybe we'll quickly go on short break. Let's have. Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
Hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and good to have all of you here. And thank you, Commissioner, Your Excellency, Governor Isimeme Whyte, for the invitation. Thank you, Obehi. You know, I'm actually delighted to be part of this very important webinar session. As I've been having tight schedule, but Obehi kept on putting pressure on me, and I decided I didn't have any choice than to accept, because the pressure on me was too much. Mails coming, reminders.
Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful for that.
And I also know that that pressure will also be coming from Isimeme Whyte. Isimeme Whyte is a go-getter. He's one person that I respect. She's very, very intentional about getting whatever she wants to get. And that is a very positive mindset. Today, we are talking about entrepreneurial mindset, a tool for regular migration pathway. So one of the great examples of entrepreneurial mindset, a tool for regular migration. And Governor Isimeme Whyte have already showed, because they have been able to ensure that I partake in this training. So looking at the topic, you will see that what we have for regular migration pathway, and our concentration is looking at regular migration pathway underlined. So you need some skill for you to assess that pathway. And what are those skills? You need to develop a mindset before people can start looking at you as somebody who is qualified to assess that regular migration pathway. And regular migration pathway has to do with you qualified to travel to Europe. So that is part of our introduction. Now, what is this entrepreneurial mindset? Simply refers to the specific way of thinking and approaching situations, both in life and in business. It involves a set of attitudes, skills, and behavior individual to identify opportunities, take calculated risk, and create value in various life contexts. So, for you to have a entrepreneurial mindset, you must look at it from this definition. You must put yourself in a situation where you can involve your attitudes, skills, and behavior that enables you as an individual to identify opportunities. Why do you need this entrepreneurial mindset? Which is very key. Get you further both professionally and personally, as it sets you up with the right attitude to succeed in life. This mindset is also going to make you more valuable in the eyes of any country you want to migrate to. So looking at it, you see that it is very key. And looking at the wonderful topic that we have, you see that this is an alternative to irregular migration. This will help to curb irregular migration and position everybody for employment or for opportunities as an entrepreneur in any country that you are going to, because once you develop this skill, you will see that opportunities will begin to come. Your mindset have changed. And we're going to look at how to develop this entrepreneurial mindset. When we talk about adopting as it seems, it however requires a lot of hard work, dedication, and discipline for one to achieve that state of mind. To get the ball rolling, below we are going to have some steps, achievable steps, that will help us to develop that entrepreneurial mindset on a day-to-day basis. And it has to be a practical step. The first one is you have to set clear goals. And what are those clear goals? Those clear goals that you cannot progress when you do not know the direction you want to go. Set clear goals, realistic, measurable, and achievable goals. Big achievements are often the result of small and consistent actions. You cannot get to the top without starting from the bottom. But some people think that it is easier for them to fly from the top, and it is never done that way. Most people who have started from the top end up crashing, and when they crash, they get damaged. But when you set a clear goal and you decide to be consistent and start small, you will find out that you will get to the place where you are going to. The second one is prioritize your learning. Always be open to learning new things. Listen now, how to develop the entrepreneurial mindset. I've said the first one, set clear goals. By start small and be consistent with your actions. Now, prioritizing your learning, which is the second one. Always be open to learning new things. Do not hesitate to ask questions. Listen more. Seek for a mentor. Take courses. Look at opportunities available. Take lessons, possibly online lessons. Then never stop learning. Then 3, reframe failure. Nobody wants to fail, but failure actually does not feel good. But to be the best entrepreneur, you must know that failure, rejection, criticism are all part of the process. Always see them as motivation to grow rather than quitting at the first sign of failure. Personally, I want to give you my example. I once traveled to Libya through the desert, and today everybody is calling me master trainer, not because I returned from Libya, but because when I returned from Libya, I decided to go back to the drawing board and began to look at this entrepreneurial mindset. I decided to put it into consideration and decided to put it into practice. I decided to come down, set my goals, start from the scratch, prioritize my learning, refrain from failure, because I've seen that I have failed. But I didn't see the failure as that I failed, but rather I saw the failure as a motivation to grow. And now what did I do? I started developing myself. I started going through a lot of processes. That today you saw that, yes, even after graduating from the university, I still went and did some certifications. And when I got to this level as a master trainer, it took me 7 years to get to this level as a master trainer. I went through different modules of training, different certification processes until I got to this level. And that helped me. And those involved who will develop entrepreneurial mindset. You either win or you lose. Either ways, you will learn something new. And this does not mean you quit your job or spontaneously say yes to every opportunity that comes. There are going to be opportunities that will come that are going to be disappointing. But that is also going to help you as a catapult to the next level. So always strive to take calculated risk. A calculated risk is a carefully considered decision with a degree of risk and a reasonable chance of having a positive outcome. Now, what is going to be the next step after this? Looking at what they call flexibility. You have to develop the nerve. You have to look at it from the ability of an individual to be adaptable to different situations in their everyday business life. Yes, You have to have an open mind. You have to look at people. Do not restrict your people or limit yourself to the kind of people you are dealing with. You have to be flexible. Then you have to be resilient. Develop the never say die attitude towards life and business. Always strive to keep moving, no matter what the odds are. Today, like I said, I am here. And now, if I tell some people, some audience, that I was once a Libya returnee, they say it's a lie. That is, they are not a Libya returnee. Not knowing that I have been able to put in some level of discipline, some level of skills, some level of entrepreneurial mindset, those things that I needed to achieve this step. Then the next thing is collaboration. You have to have a mindset of partnership. Partner, open your minds with individuals who are ahead of you. Learn constantly from others. These are things that you need for you to develop the entrepreneurial mindset. Another one is creativity. Creativity is not just what you can do with your hands. It is also what you can do with your mind. Ability to think critically and solve problems. Yes. Libya, I saw it as a need. When I was coming, I noticed that a lot of Nigerian youths were leaving the country en masse. And one of the things that touched me, I said, no, that it seems that the information that is going out is not enough. And also, if these youths are well equipped with good information, with good knowledge about what to do next, they may not fall into this. And I decided to come back and establish this organization. And today, these organizations have gone places. Today, we partner with a lot of international communities in countries. You know, we are doing a lot of work, conducting trainings. We are conducting reintegration support. We are conducting sensitization. We have a shelter running now in Lagos, and we have people in that shelter. You know, so these are things that when you come back to decide to have an entrepreneurial mindset, it will evolve. It will come up with a platform that will put you in a position that you were never before. But you need to develop a lot of skills. You need to look at problem solving, identify a problem that you need to solve. You need to look at attitude of gratitude, curiosity, resilience, you know, embracing what I said. Then you have to be comfortable with discomfort. Look at the areas of, go out from that zone you think that you are comfortable. Leave that zone and you will see that things will begin to happen and things will begin to change. I want to tell you that by the time you develop this entrepreneurial mindset, as we have mentioned, you will see that value will be added. You will have value added. You will have a prize. Today, I remember some years back, I could not go to embassy. I tried to go to embassy, to go to Europe, and when they noticed that I was a Libya returnee, that was only the thing they saw there, and some activity I've done, I was denied a visa. But the next time I went to the embassy, after I've achieved some certifications and some levels in my organizations, and even the certification level I've achieved, I didn't waste 5 minutes in the embassy, and the visa was given to me. So, having this topic as a tool to regular migration was not a mistake. It is the best topic that will come up, and every Nigerian and every youth will begin to see as the next level for us to take, as an alternative to regular migration and as a tool to regular migration. Looking at other things, you say one do not necessarily need to be an entrepreneur to exhibit the entrepreneurial mindset. It might take extra thought, effort, and persistence, but any individual business person can embrace the patterns of behavior that defines that frame of mind. Developing this mindset is surely the best way to reach the next level professionally and as well as increase your value. Having the entrepreneurial mindset can increase one's chances of migrating and contributing as immigrants in any country they find themselves, and it will earn you a lot of respect. Most EU countries prioritize migrants who have innovations as well as startups because they see them as being able to contribute to their economic growth. Now, having said all this, developing the entrepreneurial mindset is a very vital tool for regular migration as it sets one aside. If all of us can develop this mindset, we would be employers of labor in no time and would not see any need to seek greener pastures outside the shores of this country. Even if we eventually migrate, we would be important assets to any country we move to. You know, one of the good things I've noticed with webinar is that it makes you very fast. I would have been slower if I am seeing everybody physically because it would have been more interactive. But we're still going to discuss. But with this point of mind that I've given you, developing entrepreneurial mindset is a very vital tool for regular migration as it sets one aside. It makes you distinguish. It makes you an important personality. It makes you somebody. When you don't look at the components or the factors that you think may mitigate you, like failures, like making mistakes, when you see them as an opportunity and you don't see them as real failures, then you are beginning to move to the next level. Most people these days begin to see themselves as people who have failed. They begin to have self-pity, and these are negative impacts on that mindset. Self-pity, you begin to see yourself as some this mindset, you will become an employer of labor. These things can be achieved. I have achieved it. Isimeme Whyte have achieved it. And I know every other person can achieve it. From zero to next level, you can get it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fantastic. I love the energy. I love the energy. I love the positive energy. And I love the brilliant conversation. I love the point that has been raised. Honestly, I practically noted everything you were saying. First is that we have to start small. If you refuse to start small, you will crash. That I am holding strongly because this is what we're emphasizing. This generation just want to blow. Nobody want to climb ladders at all. Everybody just want to blow. Nobody realize that you have to start small and grow gradually. Another point you said, new knowledge. You must have the mindset to learn. You must be hungry to learn. You really, really emphasize that. Then failure, mistakes are his own way of motivating himself. So failure is allowed, but remember, mistake is allowed, but being able to learn from those mistakes and move forward. Don't be afraid of mistake. Don't be afraid to fail. A lot of points were raised. The mindset of partnership. You must have a mind of partnership. You must have a mind of creativity. And he said something very, very strong. He said creativity is not only what you do with your hands, but what you do with your mind. That is very, very strong for me. So creativity is not only what you do with your hands, but what you do in your mind. So the topic this afternoon is a very powerful topic, entrepreneurial mindset. The right mindset you should have for everything you do. Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. That was so brilliant. We were not expecting less. We know that having you on board will really, really inspire a lot of people. And listen to his story. He's somebody who have also been vulnerable. He have suffered before. He migrated irregularly, but look at him today. He has bounced back. So that process, that attitude of him bouncing back did not just happen automatically. It was his mind. It happened in the mind. It happened in the mind first and foremost that I can bounce back. I can start all over. I can be great again. So all of that happened in his mind. So you have to have the right mindset. Mindset is everything. If you believe you will succeed, you will definitely will succeed. If you tell yourself you are going to fail, you will definitely will fail. So we are very excited with this topic because we are bringing in someone who have experience, bitter experience, coming to share with us. Someone who have bitter experience, but who have grown, who have been able to bounce back just because of mindset. And I believe that this webinar is for somebody who is extremely emotionally down, who is broken, who feel that he cannot move forward again. I believe that you have listened to Mr. Osita's story, and we believe this will inspire you to bounce back. It's never too late, but remember to start small and grow big. Start small, grow big, and grow global. And have a mindset of collaboration instead of having a mindset of competition. Have a mindset of collaboration. And he said again, creativity starts from the mind. So creativity is not only what you do with your hands, but start from the mind. That thing you're in your mind, what are you thinking? what is on your mind right now? What is on your mind right now? So I want to ask Mr. Osita a question. Mindset is a very difficult process to develop. How were you able to develop a positive mindset? How were you able to develop positive mindset? Because again, the people you see that feel they cannot do anything, that look down on themselves, that have failed and never see themselves bouncing back, it is a mindset. So, but what formed your own positive mindset? How were you able to develop a positive mindset, Mr. Osita?
Yes, thank you so much for that
Mr. Osita, I would like to
feedback. One of the things that
I like to see your.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can hear you,
It's
but we'd love
affecting
to
my
see your
face. Is
face. We'd love to see
affecting
your face.
yes, it's
No, it's
affecting.
going
I
well. It's
hope it's
going
not
well.
affecting the network.
No. It's
Yes,
doing well.
yes. One of the things that motivated me, first of all, when I actually got to where I was going. First of all, one of the things, I saw myself in a different situation, and I realized that the situation I was very terrible, and that before I left the country, I was better off. When you're on transit and you get yourself into the mess of maybe smugglers or traffickers, I began to think about my life. I said I was actually better off in Nigeria. And even though when I returned back to Nigeria, there was nothing, I came back empty-handed and lost all hope. I also started thinking, how do I go back? How do I get my feet back? And also, most of the people that were my mates have already gone far ahead of me, because the period I lost trying to desperately look for greener pastures was a lost period. I've lost so many things because I was not actually using it to develop myself. Rather, I was using it to chase. That was why I wrote one book. The book I wrote when I returned back from Libya, I titled it Chasing a Mirage, My Search for an Oasis. I was actually chasing a mirage within the period of time. So when I came back, I said, I could have done better if I used my time very well to step up my capacity, take opportunity that is around me. And what are those opportunities? First of all, I had to go back to ensure that I go through what they call self-rehabilitation and reintegration. I had to think of, I forgot about everything. For 1 year, I was not communicating with my friends. I was not communicating with my family. I needed to repair my damaged emotions, because psychologically I was already down. And one of the good messages restart. And I heard that word, calm down. You have to restart again. And it doesn't matter the level I want to start from again. And I have to remove all my old self. I was once a graduate. I went to University of Benin. I removed it. I started afresh, because I knew that starting afresh would take me to the top. And that is what you said, most of these young people these days don't see it from that way. They want to start from either the middle or from the top. But I started afresh from the bottom. And I keep on saying it, from the bottom. And when I started from the bottom, nobody believed in me then, because people even thought I was joking. Nobody believed in me, but I was struggling with it, struggling with the little friends and family that could support me. I was getting support from them. I was also moving. But let me tell you, one thing that stood out was when people saw that I was very consistent. If you watch, I use the word consistent. When you start small, you must be consistent. If you are not consistent, people will think you are playing. You are here, you are not. Today they will see you. You are doing furniture. Tomorrow they see you. You are doing mechanical. Consistent in what I was doing. They were seeing it, friends were seeing it, family was seeing it, and the more I was consistent in what I was doing, the more I was developing my capacity. And that helped me. At a point, I began to gain trust. And in all this, I was meeting a lot of failures on the way, disappointments. People you thought will help you, it's a lie. They don't even believe in you. But eventually, when I succeeded in getting to the level that people began to trust me, people began to believe in me, you see that they began to see me as an investment. You know, support became easier. Initially, support was very tough because they were seeing me as one of those. It's not just this boy that returned from Libya that says, even when I want, it affected me. My in-laws did not allow me to married my wife. They used it against me. They said, you want to marry that boy that doesn't have a job, that went to Libya, that is telling stories that he went to Libya. And that almost became a stumbling block, you know. But because my parents had already supported me, they've gotten my story, they have calmed down where I was, and they were now trying to encourage me. They supported me. And the family I went to said, okay, since the parents are involved, let's see. But they are lost hope. They felt that their daughter is going to marry somebody who cannot provide for her. But today, the story is a different story. So that is where consistency paid. And that is where, you know, that mindset, you know, believing that this place you are is not the end point. Because one of the problems we have is that most people who have gone through this kind of situation see themselves as people who cannot do anything again, that they cannot be accepted anywhere. You know, before you pity them, they have already started pitying themselves. And by the time you are developing yourself in this area, make sure you don't put yourself in a beggar position. You know, most people also put themselves in a position where they are always begging, or where their people will always be sympathizing with them. That you have passed through this phase doesn't make you somebody who will continue to be in that phase. If you are following the principles and the rules, like we have said, these rules that will help you to achieve the entrepreneurial mindset. There are rules that they are very difficult, but there are things that you need to do to get to that level. You have to be flexible with your association. You have to be open to collaboration, open to partnership. You have to be able to take calculated risk, even when you take some risk that is not calculated. But you have to retrace your step and ensure that the risks are calculated. Any person on earth that doesn't take risk cannot go anywhere. You cannot move to the next level. And these things will help you to have a price. Today, I have a price tag. And I'm proud. I can proudly tell you that I have a price tag. It is difficult for people now to believe that I went through the Sahara Desert because I have erased those pains. I have erased those pains. I've been able to go through the ladder of achieving those factors that will take me to becoming an entrepreneur. Yes. And most people think that it's only when you have a shop or you have a factory, that is when you're an entrepreneur. No. Once the mindset is there, whatever you do can place you in that position as an entrepreneur. That mindset is very key. Thank you.
Much. In fact, Professor Osita, you've done very well. You know, this is what we bring to you at Genius. So one of our way to support MSMEs, to support individuals to grow is what we do. Take advantage of this webinar to actually do and support MSMEs. And this is our own support. This is being funded by Genius Hub Limited, just to give out to the MSME communities. And we're very excited to have, I will call you Professor Osita, Comrade Osita, someone who is so rich in sharing. In fact, they are taking time to pour out his art, and a lot of lessons have been taken. And if you look at comment section is art, because a lot of people are commenting on what they have learned so far. Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Now, I will listen to you share your personal experience, your challenges, and you were able to overcome them. I want to quickly ask, having an entrepreneurial mindset, is that all you need to succeed as an entrepreneur? Is that all that is needed? Mr. Osita, are you here? Are you still with me? I'm asking, is it just to have an entrepreneurial mindset? Is that all you need to succeed as an entrepreneur?
What? Can I hear you? Say what?
Okay, I'm asking, is it just to have an entrepreneurial mindset? Is that all you need to succeed? Is that all you need to succeed as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, it's going to help you. That is the first thing you need before you can move to the next level. Once you're able to develop that mindset, every other thing, you'll be open to opportunities. Because without that, having that mindset, you will not be.
Okay.
You can never identify those opportunities. So if you look at the steps are very clear. Once you look at those steps and you are able to adapt yourself to, you will see that when opportunity comes, you easily key in. I mentioned something. I said it was that mindset that I developed that helped me to get to this level. It made me to see myself begin to learn from like primary 1 before I got to primary 6. And I went to secondary school again. And I graduated from secondary school. And I came. So without that mindset, you cannot you cannot get to that level. So once you have that mindset and you carry those components of the mindset, you now, once you see opportunity, you learn from the opportunity. Look at one of the mindset. He said, you should be open to learning. You should be open to learning. You understand? You should be open to learning. So, some people who don't have that mindset are not open to learning. You can see there are a lot of people who are very big and you see that they cannot grow because they feel that they can't learn anymore. But advantage for anybody who wants to move to the next level is taking one of those components of entrepreneurial. Learn everything, anything that can move you to the next level, learn it. And the moment you learn, you keep it. It's an added advantage. You understand? It's an added advantage. Like if you watch, I said for 7 years, before I got to this level as a master trainer under the I started the journey 2016 and I ended the journey as a master trainer this 2024. You understand? So 7 years before, I added another price tag, another price level to my price. So people need to look at it and start from somewhere and be deliberate and intentional about this entrepreneurial mindset. Because it's not something you do, maybe you one leg in, one leg out. You must be deliberate. I want to be a public speaker, or I want to be a fashion designer. You have to pursue it with all vigor. And you have to look at it from not what has happened before. Because most of the innovations we are seeing now, is meeting up with the global standard. So you have to look at it so that you what is happening. So that is why it is good for anybody who wants to develop entrepreneurial mindset to become, marketable, to become a product of regular migration, to become qualified to go for, to any country. I told you that after I have gotten to the next level, that if I go embassy, I don't waste time in any embassy now. You can go to, the other day I was in Madrid. I knew how many minutes it took them to give me my visa. The other day in Italy, but these were areas that were difficult for me to assess before because there was no identity. So what gives you an identity, a confirmed identity, is when you are able to put into practice these qualities of entrepreneurial mindset. If you're able to develop them, so it will take you to the next level where you are going to be. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Engineer Professor Osita, for that brilliant conversation. I like the way you break it down. And most importantly, I like the way you relate it to your life, to your own personal story, because this is what it is. You can't give what you don't have. This is your personal story, and we are grateful for that. So I quickly want to find out, how do you measure the impact of an entrepreneurial mindset on your career progression? How do you measure impact? I don't know if you got my question.
Hear it well. Can you?
Okay, I said, how do you measure the impact
So
of
what?
entrepreneurial mindset on your career progression? How do you measure the impact of an entrepreneurial mindset on your career progression?
How do you measure
Yes, so yeah,
impact?
it's on the chart already. I've already put it on the chart. So how do you measure the impact of entrepreneurial mindset of your career progression? So while we're waiting for Mr. Osita to come back, CEO, can you recap major lessons you picked from here? I know I saw you also writing. I also note down, learn everything that learn everything that will take you to the next level. So this is me saying too, learn everything you can learn. Learn skills that will be relevant to you 20 years time, 30 years time, skills that will be forever be relevant to your career. Be open-minded to learn, be hungry for new knowledge. And that's part of having an entrepreneurial mindset. For you to have an entrepreneurial mindset, you must be open to new knowledge. You must have the hunger for new knowledge. So we are back with our professor. Sorry for the network.
Yes.
It's one of those things.
Yes.
We have told ourselves
Yes. Yes.
whether like network like it or not, we'll go on. And I'm happy we are going on and we're moving forward. But somebody needs to hear this.
Yes. Yes. You said, how do you measure the impact of an entrepreneurial mindset on your career
Yes,
progression?
yes.
It is very easy. When you are, one of the key points that helps you in seeing whether you are moving. First of all, you have to be very consistent and intentional in what you're doing. And as you are progressively, you'll be seeing that there are changes in what you are doing. If in the course of my presentation, I said that when I started, or I can use any other person, when you start, you see that your level, you notice where your level is when you started, and when your level will be when you are at the middle, or when you get to the point. Like now, for someone like me, like I said, 7 years ago is not where I am now, because I have been able to add some level of certification to myself, and also been able to affect and implement a lot of things, put it into practice, kind of collaboration, try to work with a lot of people, learn new skills. So when all these things are happening and you are doing them, you will see that you are improving. 3 years ago, the way I used to train or facilitate or deliver is not the way I train now. 3 years ago, I was not a good trainer. But this year, I have improved tremendously in my training, because I've added a lot of knowledges, and I've added a lot of skills in my delivering styles. And this is due to not lying down on my bed and waiting for a project to come. I went somewhere to learn it. I learned it and I put it into practice. So learning and putting into practice. In the course of putting into practice, you are seeing a lot of improvement, and you are seeing that you are changing from one stage to another.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Thank you very much. I'm very, very excited that we're having this conversation. So now I want to quickly ask another question before we make the question open. People feel
Yes.
for you to have, if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, and the only thing you can do with that is just buying and selling. People feel that being an entrepreneur is just buying and selling. So what's your take on this?
So what?
People feel that
You feel what?
entrepreneurs are just people who are just doing buying and selling. So I just wanted to know your take on this. See, what's your take on this?
Like we have said, an entrepreneur is not someone who does only buying and selling. An entrepreneur is someone who brings value to the table. He identifies a problem and he is a problem solver. As he's solving that problem, he's bringing about impact and value.
Yes.
It could be in goods.
Yes.
It could be in services.
It could be in
So an entrepreneur is not somebody we have reduced to buying and selling. What many people call kemi shop. No. It is much more than that. It is the value you are bringing to the table and the problem you are addressing and solving. That's what makes you an entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, okay. It's not wiki. What did she call it? Wiki. So entrepreneurship is beyond buying and selling. So before the network took Mr. Osita away, I was just asking, people feel entrepreneurs are just involved in buying and selling, and nobody was able to clear us on that. That is beyond just buying and selling. It's about impact. It's about value. It's about identifying a problem and providing a solution. So I just also want to add to that, not just a solution, but a sustainable solution. So that is all I will add to it. So I don't know if Mr. I don't know why I'm calling you Barrister Osita, but I think because you have all it takes to be a barrister, you are everything in one. You are a one-stop solution provider, someone who is extremely passionate about delivery of service. So maybe that's why I'm making that mistakes. So back to where we were before that network started again. Entrepreneurship has gone beyond the mindset of buying and selling. We say it every time: identifying a problem in your community, providing a solution, turning that idea into income generating, providing solution, a sustainable solution that also make you an entrepreneur. That's one. Another way is that you have the experience, you have the expertise, you can begin to support business owners by consulting, by working with an organization. You can be on salary because you have worth of experience that you bring on the table. So entrepreneurship is not just to start your own business, it's about value added wherever you find yourself, whether in a workspace. The most important thing is that you're adding value based on your knowledge. So entrepreneurship is not just about buying and selling. That's gone beyond that mindset. So the mindset is that you're adding value wherever you find yourself, whether as an employee somewhere, exactly, or you are consulting for business owners and providing them value, providing them solution, providing them advisory. That's also entrepreneurship. Exchanging knowledge for money, exchanging value for money.
Exactly.
That is how I see entrepreneurship. So maybe an employee means that for you to be an employee, value you are providing that organization and you get paid for it. So I like to say everyone is an entrepreneur. Everyone is an entrepreneur as long as you are giving value and there's a value in exchange of money. You're working somewhere, you're paying for your time, you're paying for the knowledge you're bringing on the table. So that makes you an entrepreneur. So, Mr. Osita, I want to know your take on this. What do you think? Who should an entrepreneur just be?
Yes, you have said it all. An entrepreneur is, yes, yes, not just somebody who is selling or have a shop or have a business, a production, a factory. No, an entrepreneur could be somebody who is selling, who is a product delivery, somebody who deals on. As an entrepreneur, you know, you developing and you can be the best teacher on earth when you have developed that entrepreneurial mindset. All those things you do to ensure that you add makes you an entrepreneur. And the value is the price tag that you have. So it does not necessarily mean that when you are into buying and selling, that is why you become an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur, point of view, who sees life, also the business point of view. You know, everything you do in life, you can turn it into money. You can earn from it. Look at these days. I give example always when I'm making a presentation. I said, even laughing is entrepreneur. Somebody who makes people to laugh is an entrepreneur. Somebody, you know, those things that we used to see as stupidity those days, people have turned it to business and they are making billions of naira. You know, look at what happened recently. Just one guy that decided to think outside the box, you know, and started using go and turned a man that over 90 years to a millionaire. You know, that is how entrepreneurs should begin to think. Innovations, new innovations, things that can be transformative, you know, things that are meeting up with the time, you know, taking you to the next level. And do you know that everywhere now, globally, they are using that go everywhere, even in the House of Assembly. After some time, you see senators, they will just say, you know, but this is something that came out from one stupid table, one stupid room, you know, look stupid, but now it has turned into money. So people should begin to be enterprising, you know, begin to see themselves as not just a buying and sellers, or not just people who will be delivering services as maybe trainers or consultants, but as people who can also be adding value in one way or the other in all aspects of life. I think that is my view as for being an entrepreneur or having an entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Always very nice having conversation with you. We don't ever get tired. So much to be. There's so much going on, so much in your mind.
Yes.
So I just wanted to just say you have a very powerful organization, international organization that is changing lives. How can MSMEs be part of your program? How can they benefit from the program? Returnees, they are always being returned every day to Nigeria, to Lagos, to Benin, Edo State, across Nigeria. So how can they be part of the powerful program your organization runs every day? Mr. Osita's organization is one brand that is very intentional about support of the returnees who have been giving support to them for a very long time now. So I just want you to tell us more about your program for business owners, program for MSME, program for
Yes.
We want to hear the name
so
of your
much for
organization.
that.
We want you to tell us the name of your organization, your addresses, your social media handle. We want people to have more information about you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. The organization is a Patriotic Citizen Initiative. We operate in Nigeria, specifically in Lagos and in Benin. Now with International Organization for Migration to provide support for return migrants, as returnees. And one of the major contributions that we have brought to table to ensure sustainable integration is the area of entrepreneurship development.
Fantastic.
The capacity that we have now, which is this BDS services that we provide on entrepreneurship. You are aware, I don't know if you are conversant of this ILO product called Start and Improve Your Business. It's a business management
support training.
Very fantastic stages of packages. You know, we have generate your business idea, we have start your business, we have improve your business and your business. And we also have complementary packages like digitalize your business. We also have formalize your business. We also have greening your businesses. These are complementary packages by these ILO, and it was actually put together by a team of global experts and tested, and is being used in over 170. So countries have adopted this as a curriculum. So recently, IOM just adopted it, and we're using it, and it has been very impactful because they said the MIE report have shown that people who undergo this program and people who just go through other ordinary business training, and that is why we have been using it. And it's open to other partner organizations. Recently, we trained some IOM partner organizations. It's not something that only PCI is handling. We're also training other organizations. We are expanding it more and more to bring in other MSME providers, including we trained some government, even Smidan partners were part of the people that were trained to also train. One beautiful thing about SIYB that we are using is it has a very wonderful training methodology that no matter who you use it to train, the person will become a different person altogether. You know, it's a very practical training. It's a very it's something that anybody can take and understand the direction of where he or she is going to. We are open to more people being part of it, like I said, and Lagos, even though I move around, but the office is situated in Lagos, where we are handling our program. In Festac, we have office in Festac, 200 Road. We have shelter in Ekpaja. Then we have office migrant handle. We also have the PCI campaign activity, which is one of our social media page. You know, then we have the X, that is Twitter, PCI _Nigeria. You know, _ Nigeria is our Instagram and our Twitter handle. Thank you so much for this opportunity you have given to me. You know, I like talking, so I can decide to talk from now till tomorrow.
And we are not complaining.
Anything that has to do with impacting on people and talking to people and ensuring that people's mindset changes. Because the truth is, I tell people, I don't believe in economic empowerment. I don't believe in money empowerment. I believe in mental empowerment. And that is what has taken me to where I am today. Mental empowerment will give you money, but economic empowerment will not give you mental empowerment. That is my take home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mental empowerment will give you money, but economic empowerment will not give you mental empowerment. So it is very important you live here with mental empowerment that will take you to the rest of your life. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Brilliant. And like I said earlier, when I was introducing Mr. Osita, I said you will never regret listening to him because he has wealth of experience. This is a wealth curator. He creates wealth for people. He creates wealth for MSMEs. He has been supporting the smallest vulnerable group of people. He has supported them for nothing to something, using his own life as an example. You know, it means that you can bounce back. You can bounce back, whether you have failed, whether you feel you failed, you made mistakes, you can bounce back. And Mr. Osita have demonstrated that you can bounce back. Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Mr. Osita also emphasized, rule out self-pity. Take away self-pity. And what he did for himself was to provide psychosocial support. He got psychosocial support that has helped him this far. I think that's another area that we are emphasizing to MSMEs. Get support. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Thank you so much. At this point, we will leave the webinar open for questions. Please, if you have questions, this is the time to ask all your questions. It is very, very difficult to find Mr. Osita. That we have him today. Hey, we may not have him to give us his quality time like he did today. So please ask him all the questions. And if you go to his office, you are going to pay for consultation. The process may be difficult. So you have him free right now. Please ask all your questions now. Thank you once again, Mr. Osita. Thank you for sharing. Obey, I'm sure you've loaded your notebook, right? What will you remember this session for? What will be your take home?
A lot of take homes.
But what would be that one thing that
I will just wrap it up with this last one. He said that economic empowerment will not give you mental empowerment, but mental empowerment will give you economic empowerment. And I want us to integrate it into what we talk to returnees about. And that will be like the question I was going to ask you. A lot of people have taken pride in saying, I'm a returnee. And whilst you were speaking, you said you have pushed that behind your mind. You have pushed the fact that you're a returnee behind your mind. You don't even talk about it anymore. So what do we say to these persons who are using the fact that they are returnees as a tool, a bragging tool for doing whatever they are doing?
It's a negative mindset, and I think the only thing we need to do mindsets that we have come up with now, the entrepreneurial mindset, to kind of downplay that mindset they already have. Returnee was in my session when I was making presentation on this kind of topic, and when I finished, he said he will never attend any returnee session again, that he's no longer a returnee, because he has been answering in returnee for over 7 years. I'm a returnee. I returned from the session. He now saw himself as a failure, and he said he will never come to that place again, and he'll never be part of that again. So what they need is actually for us to begin to change on this entrepreneurial mindset. It's going to help them, because most of them are very talented. They have skills, but because of what they are seeing around them, that keeps them in a certain position for years. And this sense of entitlement, you can't continue to put yourself in a place where you are entitled. You feel that, yes, you have to be helped, or government have to help you, or this have to be done. When you don't have a pedigree, you don't have an identity. The only identity you have not even reviewed it, because there is even need for them to review their identity. The kind of work, the handwork they had when they traveled to Libya how many years ago may not be what is in vogue now. These days, people don't rent shop to do business. People do business from digital business. So people should begin to think. People should begin to think to the next level. So we should begin to place them on that level now, and begin to let them know that you must come out from that. I'm a Libya. What is the pride in being a Libya returnee? When you have remained there for a long time, yes, if you're a Libya returnee and you have been able to go, okay, you said now that you're a PhD holder, that when you came back, you decided to go and professionalize. You needed to further your studies, or you needed to develop your skill to the highest level on this line, and you are referring back that, yes, so I remember when I traveled to Libya, and I remember when I was, now you have changed your position, you have changed your status. But you return from Libya, they gave you money 5 years ago, and the money has finished, and you are still at that level after 5 years. So what are we talking about? So we should now begin to be intentional about changing the narrative of this returnees, helping them. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Okay. So I hope you got what I said.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much, Professor Osita.
So we have a lot of work. We have a lot of work to do in changing the narratives.
Thank you so much. Can we check the comment section from all the various platforms if there are questions on various platforms, so that we can follow everyone and answer their question. So Mr. Osita's social media handle is scrolling on the screen. Don't forget to follow him, and don't forget to follow PCI Migrant Project. Don't forget to follow PCI Nigeria. That is the Instagram handle. Don't forget to follow them. On S is PCI Nigeria. So please, let's follow them on their various social media. I don't know if Mr. Osita has a phone number we can also add. Maybe office line. Any question from can we quickly go through all the platforms and check for all the questions. While we're waiting for all those questions, can we have a break on activities we do at Junior? So we currently have in our summer school running in our Lagos office, in our Benin office, where children are exposed to coding, web development, that are exposed to photography, cinematography, that are exposed to life skills, that are exposed to UI UX. So children have been around learning various skills, and we're very excited with the progress that has been made. And thinking of where to drop your children, this our tech summer classes have started already. We have cinematography training currently growing up, photography, lighting, sound, script writing, set design, and so much to learn. Of course, our fashion designing class is also on, where they learn manual pattern drafting, digital pattern drafting, which we now call AI pattern drafting. So that is already ongoing. We have product design, web development, we have data analysis. In fact, so much for these children to learn this period. Okay, we have a question here, Miss Easy Lucy. How do I become part of your organization? I reside in Lagos. Thank you so much, Fidelia. Thank you so much. So our office address will be rolling out. You see that my colleague will put that on the screen. Yeah. So Faithful, please let's have the office address. So there's a question for Mr. Osita. Obey, would you like to read that out?
Sir, you said something about starting small to avoid crashing. In this regard, sir, what is your own measurement of small? In what way would you define small for someone trying to start afresh?
Well, maybe you just want me to emphasize on starting small and being consistent in starting small. The practical example of starting small, there are most people when they make it big, they are looking at the bigger money to start up a shop or start up a business, like having maybe 5 million naira business or 10 million naira business, when they are not able to manage 500,000 naira, or they're not even able to manage 200,000 naira. So looking at the word starting small, and you must also look at it from the perception of not being to being contented where you are. Because when I say starting small, it's is a very big umbrella as well. Being contented where you are also have to do with starting small. Looking at your income available, within your reach. So that has to do with starting small. Some persons feel that 50,000 is not enough to start business for them, or some businesses that you can start, I've actually start with 50,000 and you grow them to 1 million, and from 1 million you grow them to 2 million. It depends. But like I said, you need all these values, you need all these things that we have listed out for you to get to that achievement. What are those values? Now, I told you that at a point, people were not giving me money. People were thinking that I'm a liability. But after a certain stage, when they have seen consistency and that I have added some values in my life, they started believing in me and they started giving me money. You will bear with me that if you start a business small and you are disciplined, you are very consistent with a particular person, so starting small, being consistent is the key. It's one of the things that helped me today. Today, when I started my organization as PCI, I was squatting in somebody's office. I had a mentor. So for you to start small, you can even start to have a mentor. I had a mentor. I started in someone's office and I was receiving correspondence in that office. Before you know, I started sharing an office with somebody. We started sharing the yearly rent. And today, I am paying rent in 4 places in Nigeria. Rent in Lagos, I am paying in Benin. In 2 places, I am paying rent in Lagos. And I also pay rent in Benin. That is somebody who never had an office. Then later started sharing with somebody in an office because I didn't have the money to pay for a whole office. So that is what I mean by starting small. So you have to start more progressively and consistently before you can become big. You understand? So by starting small and avoiding crashing. But if I had come and somebody had given me 2 million naira and I went to rent office without having a going to give me that opportunity to make money, then the 2 million will be a waste. After 1 year, I will not be paid. But I grew progressively. So that is what is expected of anybody that wants to go into businesses, wants to go into any service provision. You will see that when you start small, progressively, you will see the measurement. You'll be seeing the outcome. You'll be seeing the result. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. Let me quickly add to that. I agree with him when he said you must start small. In fact, you don't have reason why you cannot start small. It is the mindset. You want to show the world that you are big. That is the reason why you want to start big. Because from research, all the people who started big eventually crash. I remember federal government were giving 30 million for business owners. You win. We have quite a number of people who benefited from that You Win program. Honestly, we can't. There's nothing to write home about these people. For some of them are starting all over. Some of them even regretted why that money was given to them, because they were not ready. So when we talk about starting small, meaning first is to have clarity of what you really want. And when you have that clarity of what you really want, it is always very good to volunteer, to get industry experience. Industry experience will prepare you ahead. Then you can actually start without even a cash, without even starting with any amount of money. I remember when we started Junior Soul, with 0 naira. What we did was to identify, we mapped out all the skill centers, all the service providers that provide skills, entrepreneurship program that provides skills, artisans. We mapped them out in Benin City. And after mapping it out, we had a meeting with them. And we said, okay, this is the idea I have. How can we both make money? One of the challenges they all had was that they couldn't meet up with their deliverables when clients come, especially those in fashion industry. They were always disappointing their clients. Now, I also realized that they lack professionalism. They do not have workforce to deliver on time. Those were the second thing I discovered. Then the third thing I discovered was that they didn't have online presence, that the feedback mechanism was zero. So we designed a program for them that will benefit them, that will help them grow. At the same time, we will provide them a lasting solution. So what was the lasting solution we did? We developed a curriculum, because we also noticed that one of the problems they had was they had issue with dignity in labor. Many of them were not really proud of what they were doing. If you meet a tailor will tell you that I'm a fashion designer. If you meet a carpenter, you say, oh, I'm a furniture maker. So we identified that as a major problem among the artisans. So what we did was to work on their mind, which we even help us develop life skill curriculum. That's how our life skill curriculum was developed. That's why for Junior Soft, the moment you go through our life skills, the second thing you do will make you develop a personal mission statement. When you're done with that, you go through the skills before you start going through the business of that skills. Now, we did mapping of unemployed youths. We started going to churches, outreach, going to mosques, market, to tell them that, okay, we have a program that will create employment. We have a program that will help them scale. We have a program that will make them sell. And they got interested. And that was how we're matching these participants up with all the skill center, artisan centers across Benin City. So that's one truth that people are not even aware of. So when we do advertisement in your church that we have a skill center close to your next door, that you don't need transportation, People were surprised. So if you live on Sapele Road, because we have already mapped out locations on Sapele Road. So if you live on Sapele Road, we assign you to a training center along Sapele Road. So parents like the ideas, guardians love it, and like, oh, we can actually bring our children there. They just walk down to the training center. And that was how we started training people in Edo State. And that's how Genius Hub actually started. So we share profit with service provider who are offering the training, and Genius Hub will take their own, they will take their own, and the remaining, in fact, the money was divided into three. One part was for consumable, one part was for Genius Hub, and the other part was for the service provider. And that's how we trained. So you can actually start small and grow big. You can start small, and now with technology, you can decide to go to a shop and take picture, negotiate with them. If this product is 10,000 naira, by the time you put this product online, you tell the owner, whatever I sell, I get my commission, right? And you take a picture and put this product online. And the moment people start buying, and you make your profit, and the person also sell and make money. So starting small is actually the way to go. So we want to really thank Mr. Osita for sharing with us, taking time to explain, sharing his own personal story. It is difficult to find people to share that will share their personal stories. He was humble enough to share his personal story, how he became a returnee, how he was rejected, and even with those rejection, he had a positive mindset. He gave himself 1 full year to clear his head. 1 full year. So I'm happy he emphasized the period, because that's another area where a lot of people are worried. How long will it take me to clear my head? How long should I spend? What time should I put in? I think this is you. The moment you know you are fit, you are fit. But what is important here, there's no room for comparison. Stop comparing yourself with anybody. It doesn't matter what has happened to you. What is important is that you are starting all over and you are consistent with that process. Your life will become a testimony too. So that is my belief. So keep doing what you are doing. Remember to start small and stop comparing yourself with anybody. Keep adding value. If you are in a workspace, add value. If you are in a workspace, add value. If you are in a community, add value. Wherever you find yourself, always add value. So I don't know if you have more questions from the public, from all the platforms. If you still have questions, let's take that question so that we can round up. We're about rounding up now. We want to really thank Mr. Osita. Honestly, we did not take your time, your wealth of knowledge that you have shared this afternoon. We did not take them for granted. We are grateful. We are grateful for your time. We are grateful for
Thank you so
your
much.
knowledge that you have shared.
I'm also happy to be part of this. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osita. We are forever grateful. And for those of you in Lagos, don't forget to visit Mr. Osita PCI. Don't forget to visit them. And their WhatsApp number is 0805822219030. I call again, 08058219030. And it will be on the comment section. We'll leave that at the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone. And don't forget to join our webinar.
Thank you so much. I'm open to future deliberation. Anytime I'm free, we can always do things together.
Yeah, thank you so much. So from all of us at Genius Hub, we give you a hug. This hug is from Genius Hub. This hug is from Genius Hub. Mr. Osita, I received the hug.
Thank you so much.
You haven't received the hug.
Yes, I received it. I received it.
Okay. So thank you so much.
I received it.
Thank you so much. We are grateful, really grateful. And tomorrow we have another webinar, same time, 12:30. And guess who is coming? Professor Adebola Eizode. This woman will break down areas that have been difficult for so many of us, areas where many of us are confused about. I don't want to give detail, but watch out for Professor Debola Eizode for our powerful session. So thank you, Mr. Osita. God bless Mr. Osita, and God bless PCI Nigeria. Thank you, Obeyi Opawele. Thank you, Joel Osaje. Thank you, Faithful. Thank you, Isaac. Isaac, well done. All our designs flyer that you see every time is being designed by Isaac and Rejoice. So I want to really thank my colleagues at work, Mrs. Uche Okpala, thank you so much. Joel Orilade, thank you so much. Chibike, thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ive. Thank you, Adesuwa, Amana Amadi. Thank you, everyone at Genius Hub. Thank you for creating time to be here. I know a lot of work happened behind the scene. You may just be seeing just Isimeme and Obeyi, but a lot of people, more than 40 persons behind the scene. Thank you, Reverend Sister. Thank you. What should I call this beautiful girl? Osaru. Thank you, OG. Thank you, which has always been consistent. Thank you, Ogochi. Thank you, Charity. Thank you, Minicent. Thank you, EOR. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for your time. In fact, I must call everybody's name. I don't want to forget anyone. I cannot thank my team enough for doing a good job, for making everything work perfectly. So we also want to thank, who are we thanking again that I've not mentioned? Okay, Jello Sagede. We want to thank you for your contribution, for your time. We want to thank Emeka. Emeka too have also been contributing towards this webinar. Thank you so much again. Destiny, Efemena, Eis, and Osaru. In fact, so many, Kelvin, so many of them who have contributed. Miriam, even with her baby, she just put to bed and she still have time to join the webinar. And even the baby girl, we say thank you for allowing mommy to join. And Taiwo too. Taiwo, thank you. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Nosa. Thank you, Tejiri. Thank you, everyone who have contributed. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Yode. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Sylvester. And thank you, Res. Thank you so much, everyone. Ogochi, Ngozi, and Titilayo, who is also doing amazing work behind the scene. Thank you, everyone. And have a very lovely day. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Obeyo Pawele. Thank you so much.
Our great host, thank you. You have thanked all of us. Don't forget to thank yourself.
Oh, so thank you, Isimeme.
Thank you so much.
Thank myself.
See you same time tomorrow. Join us.
Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Join us.
Welcome to Genius Hub, the right destination for human capacity development, skills acquisition, and empowerment. Genius Hub is a human capital development organization with offices across Nigeria and Africa, and with a strong presence in Lagos, Kano, Edo, and Rwanda. With a vision to improve lives and empower knowledge, Genius Hub prides itself in providing services and training to over 17,000 persons in over 49 TVET entrepreneurship, employability, and digital skills, such as basic literacy skills, graphics design, website development, digital marketing, filmmaking, and many more. Genius Hub is committed to promoting MSME growth and visibility through incubation, acceleration, startup development services, as well as tech-driven interventions, including training and capacity building in digital marketing, basic digital literacy, product photography, social media marketing, financial management, search engine optimization, and more. Through NYTV, Genius Hub reaches out to train aspiring creatives in the areas of photography, cinematography, editing, lighting, and many more.